Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't had a chance to do so by now, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, girl. All of the things, including tapping that notification bell. That way you'll be updated each and every time I'm uploading something new. Also, follow me on Instagram at YB Speaks, as well as my TikTok at YB Speaks. I know I need to put up some newer content over there, but shit. Follow me anyway, girl. I'm really active over there. If I'm not posting, I'm definitely on there. I love some TikTok. Hopefully, she gets to stick around. And hopefully, she's not sold to an American buyer, because they're just going to whitewash that shit. And I'm not going to be interested anymore. They already kind of messing with people over there. I feel like before these, Senate hearings with the TikTok CEO, before all of this, trying to push things into law to ban TikTok unless they, sell their company to an American buyer. Again, I don't do the strong arming. I don't do all of that, ultimatums and shit. And I do feel like there's a difference. You can no longer speak your mind over there. And that kills me though. When you look at all the injustices in the world and you see that by way of social media, people's stories are being told. The truth, hello God, has the ability to be revealed unto thee. In a lot of cases, live, in action. And I really do think, because Facebook and Instagram and all the other, social media apps, especially the American-made ones, they cater to, pushing narratives that prop up certain arguments and individuals. And they have the power, right? And I don't like that shit. Because, again, it becomes whitewashed. It becomes one-sided. I want to live in a world where freedom of speech, freedom of independent thought, freedom of perspective, opinion, no matter how fucking outrageous it may sound, right? It should be free. Free indeed. I don't like when I do videos and, okay, don't monetize me. That's fine. Don't be taking my videos down. Don't be striking me. Don't be sitting out here making claims of misinformation. I hate that shit. I really hate that shit. And then you wonder why other people are around here creating their own apps, creating their own platforms, leaving one space and going into a whole nother space. That's fine, because if TikTok goes away, there will be someone else. Hello, history has proven that much. There will be someone else. I don't like that shit, man. There's a lot of stuff that happens, and I don't like, what I don't like either is that when you look at a lot of, like, what's going on in the Congo right now, right? For those that aren't aware of what's going on in the Congo, let me just briefly educate you. The device I'm recording on, the device you're watching and listening to me on, the devices we use to utilize computers and cell phones and all the electronics, right? You want that new iPhone, you're going to spend, hello God, your grandmother's inheritance money that she left you, girl, on all this technology. And again, the world has made it seem as if we can't live without this stuff, right? Because you can't. Technically, they've made it so you cannot live without this stuff. So the demand, hello God, is there. So they're going to keep supplying it. And we don't realize that supply comes at a great human cost. People in the Congo, right, they are being forced into slave labor to mine the elements needed and required and desired, girl, to create these very technologies that a lot of times we take for granted. Every year, iPhone comes out with 3 or 4 different variations. You just got that phone. You feel obligated to get the upgrade, because let's be honest here, they low-key force you to by, they've already went to court and settled out on this. There's proof to show that these phone companies, especially, Apple, they'll slow down your device to force you Hello Gone to purchase or upgrade the newer device they have going on. So when everything is like that, to let you know that these companies, knowing where Hello Gone, this technology, the elements that are utilized to create said technology is coming from slave labor, people dying, they don't give a shit. And what they do is they limit the information on what's really going on. So you're none the wiser. Because I would hate to think that most of the world, even though I do think this, but I would hate to really think it, that outside of my own experience, that there are really some raggedy ass bitches out there in the world that are aware of this, especially the companies that propagate and that make profit, and that they're aware of this. They say Elon Musk is aware of what's going on in the Congo. Most of it is because of him and his wannabe, Hello God, green. Question the Tesla batteries. Most of what's put into those batteries, slave labor. Kids are being forced to work for free. People are dying just so you can have the little bit of crystals and elements or whatever to create that battery for your Tesla. Sometimes going green, you think, oh, you're helping the environment, but really you're adding, hello God, you're adding to crimes against humanity. And not only that, you're also forcing these people to damn near exhaust the precious resource that they have already. I'm telling y'all, it's a circle. It's a circle. It goes round and round and round and round and round. I'm telling you. So that's why I don't like platforms like YouTube, Hello God, Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok is falling into that bullshit too. You can't speak your mind. They limit, Hello God, the information. They tailor make information to have you swing one way. The same way cops will sit here, girl, and edit out their body camera footage to make it seem like they were justified for, unaliving an unarmed black man. So I get pissed off. And I understand, exactly what Albert Einstein used to talk about, girl. When you stand up against oppressors, when you're speaking truth to power, sometimes you might find yourself alone in the cold. Sometimes you're going to be looked at like the weird, the all ball out, because you ain't out here conforming to what the fuck society got going on. When you step outside of those lines, now there's a target on your back. People are going to shun you. They're going to act like they're not paying attention to you, but the masses are paying attention to you. Trust and believe that. They want to know how much and how many people are you going to sway. See, if people like mine's subscriber count stays the same, my viewership stays the same, that means it's not getting out there. The information's not spreading like I feel it should. And that's what they like. So they can further push their agendas. They can continue to brainwash all of society into leaning one way. And that's crazy to me. And y'all got the nerve to say, well, you have freedom of speech. No, the hell you don't. You do. But when you prop it up on a platform that has the power, they call it their community guidelines. Girl, I was on TikTok several days ago, and there was this video that I was watching where the officer was just doing way too much. So I commented on the video, and I was just basically informing the general public or anybody, the viewers of that video, the commenters of that video, you have rights. And I was explaining what those rights were. Do you know in 5 seconds, I got a violation? They removed my comment. I appealed it. 5 seconds later, they said, no, girl, there's no appeal granted. You violated the community guidelines. I didn't cuss, girl. I didn't fuss. I was just basically educating people on what their rights is. You have the right to shut the fuck up. They want you to talk. They want you to dig this grave. Body cameras work both ways. It can work for you or against you. We have you on camera admitting to foolishness. You have the right not to self-incriminate. You do not have to help these people with their investigation. So it kills me when motherfuckers sit around here and they say, oh, you got freedom of speech. You can say what you want to say. Yeah, but if you want your message to be heard, you got to get on one of these platforms, right? Right? And then they have the power to filter out and to censor your message. Anyway, but y'all will let Charles and Netta slow, disfigured asses run rampant through my For You page, the trending page, every little site on social media. You'll allow that, but you won't allow someone who's literally letting someone know of their rights. That's crazy. And I tell y'all will sit here all day long and approve and monetize a video where I'm talking about sucking and fucking and doing and hooing and violence and all this other shit. But girl, as soon as I speak some truth to power, as soon as I sprinkle fairy dust of truth against oppressive ass entities, people, hello, y'all got a problem with that. When Carisha Please was happening, girl, they were letting people know you're not a doctor. This is misinformation. This is false information, or whatever they kept telling a lot of us creators who were having commentary on the Carisha Please. Let me tell y'all something. How the hell y'all gonna sit there and say that we're giving out misinformation when the doctors, the directors of the CDCs and all, these fancy ass degree holding medical professionals, they didn't even know what the hell was going on. They themselves were issuing out misinformation, coming back every couple of days. Oh, well, we thought we had this figured out, but instead we have this theory, and then we have this theory. Y'all shut the fuck up. Y'all were out here giving out misinformation. That's why a lot of people lost their lives, because of y'all's foolishness. And then meanwhile, allegedly, Dr. Fauci and his funded lab were really the conspirators in the whole situation. You were creating this stuff. Where's he at now? I thought he was supposed to be held. Wasn't it supposed to be a Senate hearing, a congressional hearing with Dr. Fauci? And then come to find out, he wasn't even the expert he claimed to have been. Him and whoever that other bitch was, I forgot who it was, running around here trying to convince black people in the poorest of neighborhoods to get the vaccine. Who does that? Y'all are worse than Jehovah's Witness at this point. But you want to block someone like mine's video. You want to limit viewership to my video. You want to shadow ban people who have opinions based on y'all stupidity. We're just reporting on y'all actions. Y'all running around in these public streets, girl, sitting around here selling us misinformation, false information. And like I said before, a lot of people lost their lives based on all of that false information that y'all propagated to the people. So-called professionals in your field. Get the fuck out of here. Girl, there's something else I want to talk about. This generation, and I know a lot of y'all hoes get so tired of this. A lot of y'all young bitches get real tired of us so-called old people trying to tell y'all what to do. But I'm gonna say this, okay? And I need y'all to listen up. And this is for young people. And I've already given this message a multitude of times on my platform. I'm gonna let y'all know something. Y'all lack self-awareness. You lack emotional intelligence. And let me explain something to you. And I know a lot of that is rooted in trauma. Trauma that you have yet to be able to work out in your life. But let me explain something to you. If you do not get ahead of that, and you allow that to bleed over into every aspect of your life, right? You're going to cost yourself. You're going to cost yourself. When you react, right? And you don't think before you react. That very small moment, that moment that you thought was small and not really, it could really blow up big time. Yes, it could. It can become way more than what you ever thought it could be. And that could change the trajectory of your life forever. Pay attention to the world. Pay attention to all these motherfuckers who were in prison. Pay attention to all of these people who have suffered life's consequences because of a 1 or 2 second reaction to some fuck shit that happened to them. And only, if only, they had a modicum, hello God, of self-awareness and emotional intelligence, they may not have ended up where they are. Okay? And if you're not willing to listen or pay attention to the people, hello God, who are trying to let you know, who are trying to guide you down the right path, because let me explain something to you. I can be very reactionary, right? I know what that is, to allow a brief moment in time to disrupt your life in the baddest of ways, okay? I know what that is. I know what it feels like. And it doesn't feel good. Okay? I need the young people to get a hold of that, because what happens is, even if you're correct, right, in the way that you react, even if it can be justified, your truth, like we talked about with Tammy, that discussion about when a real one shows up, hello God, no one's gonna give a fuck about your side of anything, because you look like the crazy bitch. You look like the one who is going off. You are the aggressor. Sometimes it is best to sit back, take it all in, honey. Take it all in. Be very calculated. And sometimes when you do that, the person that's trying to make you look like a fool they might get angry that you're not reacting the way they plan for you to react, especially if it's public, right? There's people around, right? They're now going to show their true colors. So you have now reversed the T. Now that person looks like a fool. That person looks angry. I'm going to share a story. When I was younger, I was at the group home I talk about. I really loved that place. Prior to that, I was living in foster homes my whole life. And although I did stay with some decent people here and there, I just did not like the foster home environment because, again, I just felt like I was not around people who could truly understand, you know, the depths of my despair, you know? So when I got to this group home, I wasn't used to being in a place that kind of allowed you to express yourself freely. There was no judgment, you know, because we had therapy and shit like that. We had therapists and stuff, and, you know, people who understood, you know, childhood trauma. So they would allow you to be you. They would allow you to get it out your system, talk about it. There wasn't any real punishment for that. But because I was finally in a place where I could be free, I took advantage of that. I was a real asshole. I was not here for anybody trying to tell me what to do. I'm living in my divine, you know, self. Fuck everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I took advantage of that. I did not see in that moment what I should have saw. To be appreciative, to be grateful, right? So every time someone would say something to me, I would snap at them. I was always getting into fights. I was always arguing with authority figures. You know, I was always going against the grain because I finally got into a space where there was some wiggle room. I had never got, girl, you know, you act like you've never been here before. I haven't. I have never been able to express myself freely before. And sometimes that may look like acting out or some type of negative, you know, reaction to things. But really, it's just like, girl, like, finally, finally, I could let my hair down. And it came off very nasty, you know? So I got kicked out of that place. Child, after I had beat this boy up, child, I had wore his ass out. That was the last straw, right? That was the last straw. And I was smoking cigarettes, cussing. I didn't give a damn. Like, y'all ain't gonna tell me nothing. And really thought I ran that place, child. Like, y'all ain't finna tell me shit, blah, 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 blah. And honey, I thought I was above it all. I was not. They kicked me out. They sent me to what is considered a higher level of care. I hated that place. Now, mind you, I got kicked out when I beat that boy up, and I ended up being on probation because, you know, it was assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Again, which is crazy because me and that boy I was sucking his dick. You know, you got mad at me for something. Did I ever tell that story? Anyway, child, he got mad at me for something, honey, and I wore his ass out in front of his girlfriend. Honey, they called the police, child, and I ran from the police, and they shot me with rubber bullets, girl. It was horrible. Girl. Yeah. I tell y'all, I am not I was a mess back then, honey, okay? I was a firecracker, girl. I was an explosion, bitch. And yeah, child, I had went to the detention center, girl, and they put me on probation. He did file charges against me, and I was just like, girl. Which was crazy, because literally, like, I think I spent like a month in the detention center, and I got back, and I was forced to stay away from him. They told me one of my guidelines is I had to stay away from him. And girl, you know, I was still sucking his dick, and I kept trying to convince him. He's like, I can't do nothing. I tried already. But can you please still suck my dick? Girl, my dumb ass did too. Oh, he had a nice dick. Anyway. But yeah, girl. Yeah, after all of that shit happened, they're like, girl, it's the last straw. We getting rid of your ass. So I went to a higher level of care. And I was acting out so bad. I violated my probation twice because I was wearing motherfuckers out. These boys trying me, you know, beat their ass. I tore the house up. When I mean tore the house up, girl, I was pushing people through doors. Bitch, I was busting out windows. I was a literal mess. And went back to the detention center 2 more times. Each time was a longer stay. And that third time, right before when I was acting out and they called the police on me and they arrested me, I broke into the therapist's office and I wanted to read my file. And I got a glimpse of what was written about me. And I said, oh, I'm not going to go into those details. But when you realize that you're acting and reacting, your behavior is in such a way where they write out in their professional terms that you are a tyrannical Looney Tune, bitch. When people are suggesting that you have all of these mental, and all these different, problems and insecurities, and the narrative that was pushed about me in this paperwork really struck a chord with me. It really made me see the truth that when you act a certain way, no matter if it's from trauma, no matter if you're acting out, no matter if you're even justified in your reaction to shit, right? Based on how you present, how you show up, right? Even if you're defending yourself to the fullest, right? If you act weird or crazy or straight up disrespectful or explosive, do you not know, especially when you're young and you have no real control over your life like that? These people had the power and they were recommending to send me to a lockdown facility. Oh, hell no. Girl, when I tell you that I took note, I got arrested after that because I broke into the man's, to the therapist thing. When I served my little bit of time and I came back to that place, I got a job. I brought my grades up in school. Bitch, I stopped lying to these people. I started getting it together. Within 6 months, my request was approved to be discharged from their program and go back to the group home that I was previously at. At the end of my stay, when I was told by the therapist who was writing all of these weird things about me, he was like, you really turned everything around and we're proud of you. I said, let me explain something to you. I read what you wrote about me. And, I'm not about to let any bitch have control over my narrative, my story. But I had no choice but to prove to you that I'm now going to be the calmest person. Because the loudest one in the room is the weakest one in the room. Shout out to Frank Lucas, girl. When you are calm, when you are peaceful, when you react contrary to popular belief, because people think they know how you're going to react. People are used to me showing up volatile and violent. Don't give them that. You can pierce armor, girl. Hello, God, with the smallest of weapons. That sharp, pointy edge, hello, God. Sometimes that sting that you feel, it ain't got to come from a violent place. Oh, girl, that's white people language right there. They love to see big black people like myself, right? Oh, he just acting out according to his culture, according to his race, according to the stereotypes, girl. The stigmas placed upon their people. When you start doing that shit, you're a big black angry man. They don't care what's coming out of your mouth. They don't care if it's truth, if it's justice, if it's right or wrong. They don't care. All that matters is how you look. And that's something that you got to grow into. You don't learn that shit overnight. But when I saw the narrative they were trying to push, when I saw how people were writing how they viewed me, again, people don't care about your trauma. Even the ones who are professionally trained to dive into that shit, they don't care about what you've been through. Sometimes they don't cite trauma for why you are the way that you are. So I started to learn how to read bitches for filth. Nice, nasty. Bitch. Serve truth and justice on a level that is equal to their own, and a lot of times better than theirs. Because again, when you start serving people the opposite of what they thought you were going to serve, they might actually show their true colors and get upset. Now you have turned the tables on a sorry asshole. They were trying to make you out to be the bad guy. Dun 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 dun. Chung Lee, you know, they will try their fucking best. Girl, let me get through, because y'all hoes are horrible. Y'all hoes are horrible. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Bitch. And you gonna get into, you gonna run into my car? You gonna run into my car, you dumb bitch? You see? Girl. Let me tell you. Okay, girl, child, they'll take you there. Now, those types of bitches deserve it. I'm talking about, like, if you're ever faced with a situation with your boss, human resources. Girl, I remember human resource when I worked for the school district, girl. I stayed under somebody's investigation because I did not take shit from nobody. Once I stood up for my fellow bus drivers, because we were part of the union, girl, and they was trying some fuck shit, hello God, and girl, I was in the news and everything, bitch. And after that article was printed in my picture, not my message, they used my picture but not my message, that's when I realized that the news is also some bullshit. You used my picture in my angry face, but you did not, you know what I mean? I hated that shit. So I was speaking up for truth and justice, girl. After that, I was under investigation. And they tried so hard to break me. Every little thing. Oh, you were 5 minutes late. And this has been happening a lot. 5 minutes late. What y'all, all these hoes that be late all the time, girl? Oh, we're getting complaints. What complaints are you getting, bitch? They used to stay trying to, and sometimes they'll try to make you angry to have you come about your character. So they have a reason. Bitch, you're not gonna play with me. Girl, you know how I got them hoes off my back? I said, at this point, this is harassment. Do I need to seek legal counsel? Because I feel harassed. This is turning into a hostile work environment. You start using keywords like that, they'll start shutting the fuck up. Why am I being harassed? Oh, we're not harassing you. We're just, this is policy. What policy does it every... Now, you do know if I hire an attorney and they do their research and they pull those time clocks, right? And everybody, hello God, that's not me, happens to have been 5 minutes late as well every day, or more than that every single day, you know that's discrimination. You're singling me out. What do they call that? Retaliation, right? Because I spoke up about y'all misuse of funds that could have been going to give the bus drivers a goddamn raise, but instead y'all wanted to line y'all pockets, hello God, with the bullshit. I cussed the union out too. And I quit the union because they weren't doing shit for us. After so long, bitch, you can only take so much of the lies and the bullshit. You're retaliating against me. I know it. Fuck y'all. Later on, I eventually quit because, girl, you know, they didn't want to pay after a while. Girl, I ain't got time for that. Bus drivers are so disrespected and underappreciated, it's not even funny. I got the fuck on that today. Y'all don't give a damn. Got to do all this training and keep our license, keep our certifications, and y'all don't want to pay nobody. Bus drivers are never really considered in the yearly budget for raises. We actually, our department, I can't speak for every school district, but our school district never allocated funds for their transportation department. Guess what was happening? They were taking the percentage of 3% off of the teachers' raises and then giving us that. That wasn't shit. You know, I was a bus driver when I started out in 2012. I was making $11.77 an hour. By the time I left there, because I think I left in 2016, I believe. I left there making $14 and some change an hour. So you damn right I'm gonna stand up and speak the truth. Because at the time, the school district got a large sum of money, girl. It had something to do with the BP oil spill. Y'all remember that? I forget under what circumstance the school district was granted those funds, but it was millions of dollars. And the school district was told that they can do anything they want to do with it. The school district finance department was under an investigation, and they had a forensic auditor come out, and he found a lot of discrepancies. He found a lot of wasteful, taxpayer dollars. So they entrusted him or whoever, to do what they wanted to do with those funds. And instead of giving it to the employees, the transportation department, because again, they never allocate anything in the annual budget to give that department a raise. So this would have been a moment where y'all could have gave us a bonus, you could have gave us a raise, like y'all could have really blessed us. But what you chose to do was buy upgraded vehicles for the school district police. Girl, they don't already do shit. The school district police are the laziest fucking police force. If you want an easy law enforcement job, work for the school district police. And then y'all wanted to use it to upgrade schools that already had low attendance rates. And then a year after that, those schools just so happened to close down. Hello. So if you ask me, y'all were lining y'all pockets with those extra coins. I know I got all the way off topic, girl, but that is the topic. Shit, that is the reason. You start speaking up and speaking out, you become a problem. They didn't like that. But anyway, the moral of the story is this: check your motherfucking emotions at the door. I understand we're all human. Certain shit gets under our skin, and I really need to start, y'all need to start really digging deep into your trauma. Only with that kind of understanding will you understand your triggers. I don't think y'all be understanding what your triggers are. That's why y'all just be flying off the handle at every little thing. A trigger for me was being told to shut up. When people would tell me to shut up or stay in a child's place, I would go to fuck off and cuss a motherfucker out real bad, girl. Yes, I would, because I hated that. That was my trigger. Actually, hold on. No, that parking spot is taken. That was my trigger, girl. Don't tell me to shut up. I will lose my fucking mind, and I'll probably beat your ass. And I didn't care who you were. I did not care who you were, bitch. Don't tell me to shut up. Don't dismiss me. Ooh, I hated that. And please don't try to downplay my argument. Because, like I talk about with young people, what happens is, especially in schools or whatever, everyone wants to take the teacher's side. No one wants to listen to their child because they think, oh, this is a teacher, they're an adult, so they must have a reason for why they, no, sometimes you need to listen to your fucking kids. Grown folks lie too. And like I said, some of the most deviant bitches are working, hello God, in the school system. Anyway, girl, this pre-workout has already kicked in. I've been running my damn mouth far too much. Let me get in here and work out. But like I said, girl, please, talk to y'all kids, girl. And some of y'all adults out here need to learn emotional. That's why y'all kids are crazy and chaotic as fuck. Because you haven't worked on your shit either. You haven't worked on your shit either. Mm-hmm. You cussing and fussing around the house, yelling at every single thing, and you wonder why your child ends up having the same type of response. And you're that same parent that'll cuss them out about getting irate with a teacher, having behavioral issues, especially when it comes down to authority figures. I'm telling you, honey, you catch more, what is it, more flies or more bees or something with honey? Be calm. That doesn't mean you're a bitch. That doesn't mean that people are getting over on you. Be calm. Because when you approach things with a clear mind, with organized thoughts, you could very well be the victor in that situation. But when you look tyrannical, when you look crazy, when you look like the aggressor, no one's trying to hear anything you gotta fucking say. Now, granted, y'all already know me. I'm big for laying a bitch out in the streets of life. I can be very reactionary myself. But again, I'm an adult now. Hello. Not saying that gives us the rite of passage to go off the fucking handle. But I'm saying that when you're young, you're already dismissed. You're already looked at as emotional. Right? That's how they do. So you just add more fuel to that fire. Remain calm. Collect your thoughts. And then you reach out and you touch a bitch. Swiftly and professionally. Do you know how many people in life I've pissed off with just my calm nature? Because they wanted me to blow up. They expected me to blow up on them. But I'll turn them. Once I can sense when I'm being set up for the okie doke. Nah, ho. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I had a boss one time try me like that. They wanted me to go off because they wanted a reason to fire me. I ain't go off. I remain calm through it all. Read them for professional filth. Read them in such a way. When that human resource bitch at the school district was trying, I read her for professional filth. All she had to do was say, you know what? We find that this investigation is bullshit, basically. You're free to go. Thank you, bitch. But if I would have cussed her out, if I would have been ghetto and nasty, fired. Oh, what they're saying about you is true. Girl, no. No, ma'am, honey. Yeah. Oh, girl. Anyway. Be blessed and never stressed. Remember that health is truly wealth. Take care. Bye.